This is a series which we have started on the history of economic thoughts. Now, how the economic thoughts have been evolved in the very large amount of time. Many philosophers have come in these times, like Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, and many more, the modern philosophers as well. For first to understand the history of economic thoughts, first we have to understand why the humans are known as rational animals. Why Aristotle said that these human beings, the man itself, is a rational human being. Now, at the time of Aristotle or before Aristotle time, people were mainly they won't use logic. They were very religious people. They would accept the whims of God. Like they were the people. If an earthquake came, so they would say that God have repented upon us and we have to please God. They won't think about the cause and effects of a thing. They won't use their logic. Greek thinkers were the first people whom have attempted to use logic, to use reason for understanding the human beings, for understanding the whole world, and for observing the world, that how this world have come into being, how we have evolved through time, how the economy works, how people works, how their social economic conditions works, how the demographics work. So we would start from the Greek thinkers, and in the Greek thinkers, if we want to identify the rational animal, so we have to first see that how the natural law works. Natural law, it's mainly came from Aristotle. Aristotle, the time period of Aristotle is mainly from 384 to 322 BC. Aristotle was alive in that time, and Aristotle said that Aristotle used his logic, his reasoning. The natural law was first also given by Plato himself as well, but Aristotle mainly expanded the theory and mainly expanded this through his syllogism, his theory, his logic, his deductive logic. Now, what is a natural law? Natural law, Aristotle identified that existence is the main thing. Now, what he calls to existence? Existence is to be something. Nothing exists in abstract things. Like the thing exists if that is a cat exists, a stone exists. Now, a cat has certain qualities from which we identify that it's a cat. Now, why man is the main part of the society? According to Aristotle, man is the main part of the society because he understands things, he observes things, he think about the things that is in society. Now he have identified that what is a cat. If you see, cat must have a specific shape, specific traits, have specific body, a specific living being through which we identify that it's a cat. Now here Aristotle identified that the man himself study things. He also study himself as well. That's why man is the unique creature in this whole world. Now, further on, Aristotle identified that what is cause and effect. We have to think about cause and effects of the things. Now, if the interaction of two things occurs, the interaction must be a cause, and there come an effect. Like if X and Y interacts, and the effect is Z, so X and Y are its causes. Now, for a main example, if we see, so if two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen combines or interact, they give an effect of water. Now, he says that the interaction is also replicable. Like if something happens in a certain specified condition and it occurs again in that specified condition, so the same results would come. It means same causes could result in same effects. That's the main things that Aristotle identified behind the interaction terms, that these are the interaction effects and that these are cause and effects. Now, the Aristotle also identified some of the logics. Aristotle said for Aristotelian school, logic is not something that is separable. Logic is something that exists in everywhere. So he gave three main logic laws. The first law is the law of identity. That means that a thing can be something that is like A will be always A. Can't be something else if they have specified qualities and specified traits. Then another law he identified is the law of non-contradiction. Now, what is a law of non-contradiction is that if A exists, so at that time non-A can't exist. Like A can't be non-A. Something its negation, something can be itself its negation. So that's the main thing behind his second logic law. And the third law, he said that the law of excluded middle. Now, what is the law of excluded middle? That something can be A and something can be non-A. There can't be something in between A and non-A. So that therefore he said that, and these all laws were mainly based on logic. Now, what Aristotle identified that the man's nature is something different because he studies himself. He studies that what is a man, how a man is designed, how his nature, his ethics works, how his logic works. So that's why man has certain other quality from this whole from this whole basket of things. Man is something that is really superior, and therefore he says that man himself, he mainly inquire about his purpose, his goals. He think about this, that what is the purpose of his life, why he has to live for these 60 years. So that was the main thing which Aristotle was really concerned about. Then Aristotle said that the concept of good and bad, like ethics. Now for ethics, ethics is only relevant to the human beings or living things. It can't be relevant to the non-living things. Now what is a good thing and what is a bad thing? A good thing is that nourishes life, a thing that can nourish life. A bad is that something that degrades life. Like if you see for an elm tree, so for an elm tree, good thing is that it's good, better conditions where it can nourish or it can have growth. A bad thing is that they are detrimental condition, that would be bad. So Aristotle identified ethics on the basis of these certain things. Now further on, Aristotle also identified that ethics is not something that is concrete over something. Ethics change relevant to one thing or another thing. Some ethics are different, the other ethics are different. That's the main thing where Aristotle identified. Aristotle also talked about man, and Aristotle identified that these are the only peoples or these are the only creatures who study himself. That's why he called human a rational animal. Why he said human a rational animal? Because he thinks about it. Now if you see plant lack consciousness, animal lack consciousness, but they don't have any conceptual ability. But man is a rational animal because he thinks, he use logic, he use reason, and through which he design his own ethics, he design his own society, his own ethics, and his whole well-being. For the existence of man and for the existence of ethics, there are two schools. One school is Aristotelian school and another is Plato school. Many philosophers or many people identified that you can either be Aristotelian or either you can be from the Plato school of thoughts, because that's why they are so much important figures in the history. Plato, mainly his lifespan was from 428 to 347 BC. Now what Aristotle identifies about man, or how Aristotle said about the natural law. Natural law was later systemized, developed by Aristotle, but first it was given by Plato. Now Aristotelian view is that man's existence is mainly isn't so thing that is eternal. Man existence is simply, it's contingent. Man have to live in this time span, they have to use their own ethics and they have to live according to it. It's not something that is eternal, that would live for a whole like that. This can't die. According to Aristotle, the only thing that is eternal is God. God himself is eternal, and that's the perfect being that we have. And the contingency of man is really important for the natural order, because natural order can only exist if human beings or man exist in it. Further on, the Platonist view, there is a school that comes from the Plato, and one of another great figure is Plotinus. That's from 204 to 270 AD, and he said that he was very much like concerned about the limitation of human beings. He said that the man's existence in the world is mainly fall from grace. Man is ever eternal. The main, like the eternal being of human being, is above, like above in the sky or above in the grace. Man only exists here because he have did something wrong, due to which he had come to this world, where he have to suffer these kind of feelings, which he have to suffer this difficulties in life. Now he said that the true existence of human being is timelessness, but the man's existence in this world is like it's existent is because he fall from the grace, and the fall from the grace is because of some bad habits. He said that man existence is like godlike, it's perfect, it's eternal, and it can't be differed from the God. And he said that it's because of the degradation from grace, and that was the only whole basis of his argument about the man's existence in that. Now another philosopher also exists in this debate, that is Heraclitus of Ephesus. Now Heraclitus of Ephesus, he is mainly a pre-Socratic philosopher, that is before the Plato and Aristotelian, and he was known as the obscure in Greek. Now, why he was known as the obscure, and what was his main thoughts about the natural law? The natural law thoughts was that he said that sometimes there two opposite things exist at the same time, like A can be at the same time A, and A can be at the same time non-A, like A and non-A exist at the same time. That was one of his contribution to the natural law, and it's this statement is mainly in the defense of the Aristotelian logic. Like Aristotelian logic says that the negations can't exist at the same time. Negation can't exist, that A can't exist if a non-A exists. At the same time, only A exists or either non-A exists.